Okay, so the very simple process of painting the boards with the glue is I will eventually do all sides of the board. So but just for now I'll do the back side and then come back and paint the other sides when it's dry so I can set it on the ground. But it's just as simple as putting a little bit of glue on a paintbrush and trying to fairly evenly cover the entire surface. And it's not 100%, it doesn't have to be 100% even or level. It's the glue is very warm, so it'll level out itself and not pool up in any particular if you're not using too much. And it's just probably a process. If you're making boards a few times, you'll develop your own style or method or you can see it from the camera angle, but the glue is being so warm, it is being pulled into, absorbed into the wood, which is good. And then what this is the base for when we put the cloth over it. This particular plywood I'm using is a really high quality, high grade cabinet plywood. And I've been told or read that being this quality, you actually don't need to use the fabric on it. And what the fabric does is, if you're using just a plain board, not plywood, but a board, just over time with different temperatures, different humidities, the wood does move. And so this particular board here is, I think it's 5/8, and it's got about 10 layers of different sheets of the plywood to make it, so it should be extremely stable and shouldn't move much over time. And but if you did have a board that you knew potentially could move, just due to the humidity changes, that you'd want to have the cloth down, so that takes away some of the movement in your gesso, and the finished painted surface won't crack. So that's why we're doing this. And even if I wasn't going to put cloth down, I think I would still want to put the glue down. So then if I were to just put the gesso directly onto the wooden surface, it would have something to adhere to more than just the wood. And I also think I've seen when I put the cloth down, sometimes just the coloration of the plywood, where you see the different rings of the wood, or here like there's something's gotten onto the board, some sort of green substance. If I were just to put the gesso down, that actually, I think, might actually come through the surface. So just putting the cloth down, I think, can make it a little more uniform. And so once this is dried, I'll do all the one surface on it, let it dry probably for an hour, and then I'll come back later and then do a little bit of putting the glue on the edges and on the back side, and then I'll let these sit overnight, and then I'll come back tomorrow and attach the glue with the fabric on it. And then the third day would then be the process of starting to use the gesso to build up the surface, the painting surface. And that takes up to 10 to 15 layers of gesso, so that can take another 3 to 4 days, because you can do 3 or 4 layers in a particular, in any given day. If you paint it, let it dry, come back, paint another one, come back. So you're talking about a week commitment to make a board. And I have behind the cameras there, I've got about, well, at least a full, it was 2 sheets of plywood that were 5 feet by 5 feet. So I have 5 feet by 10 feet worth of boards that I'm going to make all at one time. And so it doesn't take too much more time to make 10 boards as it does to make one. Okay, that's it.